Terry and Joe thought they were doing all the right things when they bought their brand new fifth wheel camper. Unfortunately, things did not go so well for them.
We should know better, right?
Welcome to the channel. I'm Liz. I'm a full-time RVer. I've been on the road almost 5 years, and I've been doing a series about the good and bad experiences people have been having buying brand new campers. If you've missed that series or some of them, I will put a link to that here. You know, hindsight is 20/20, and in this video, Terry and Joe share their painful mistakes and lessons learned. If you're shopping for a brand new camper and you see one that's $5,000 cheaper but 100 miles away, what do? And do you get the extended warranty? Terry and Joe share their story next.
2021 Montana High Country. It's a 295 RL. It was built 7/7/20 and we picked it up on 7/31/20. This is our third season in it.
This was not their first camper.
No, this is our fifth one.
We should know better, right? When we bought this, we bought it sight unseen. We had decided we wanted one, and they had one going to be delivered. So I wanted to look it all over before we actually bought it. Well, it didn't work that way. They made us go through all the paperwork and buy it before we even got to see it. They have a different area where they do their maintenance and stuff and do the cleaning. So we did all the paperwork before they took us over. We should have just let them get the camper there and then went and looked it over and looked at it before we bought it. And that's what we should have done. We should have waited. With the way things were at that time, you know, campers were going as fast as they'd come in. We just went ahead because we already knew what the floor plan was. And the salesperson, which is not there anymore, that sold it to us, said, oh yeah, she'll be able to go in and look it over, you know, before you buy it and everything else. He was busy with somebody else, and he never ever did call us ever after we got it home to see how we liked it or if we were having any issues.
Now, I purposely did not name the dealer because it was over 3 years ago and it was during COVID. If you are shopping for a new camper or used for that matter, absolutely walk through it first before signing any paperwork.
And then we did their walkthrough. Well, they walked us through very fast, because there was some things that, you know, even though we had a camper before, you don't know how that, we didn't have the self-leveling, you know, and they just hurry up and run us through it.
Well, when we went to pick it up, everything seemed fine, but when you're purchasing something, you don't look at every little detail. I mean, probably should know better, probably should have had an inspection.
After 3 years, Terry says he now regrets not buying local.
We saved $5,000 driving 100 miles to the dealership versus going to Lincoln, which is about 7 miles away. But there was a few things that weren't quite right. The dealership did fix one issue that is supposed to be a 4-season camper. On the outside by the docking station, all the pipes were exposed underneath. Told them about that after we made a trip home and back. They fixed it, they boxed it in. It's more protected. The leveling system, we had trouble with that. The screen went blank on us on the way back from Colorado, and so we had to pull the jacks up manually with a drill and got it back home and took it back out, and they put a new screen on for us. And the first year, there's a lot of things that go wrong on new campers. I mean, that shouldn't, but they do. That was probably a mistake on our part. But
Lincoln won't even see you since you didn't buy it from there. You have to go 100 miles every time.
Well, because you have the forever warranty, we have to take it up there and have any servicing done.
They wanted to protect themselves, so they bought an extended warranty and a tire protection plan.
But, you know, That's why we thought, okay, we'll do this forever warranty thing because, you know, if anything goes out, they'll replace it. All we do is pay the labor. But in the long run, you're probably paying for it anyway. So
I think you're better off buying locally so you can get it serviced locally. And when after we had made a couple of trips to Colorado, well, it was about less than 5,000 miles on the tires. We have a tire monitoring system. Pulled into the gas station and the tires are obviously cooling down a little bit while you're getting gas. Well, the alarm went off saying that we had a low pressure on the tire. I got out and looked at it and it was all rounded off. It was like, it wasn't really worn off on the edges, but the center was raised up like a belt had shifted or something. We were at Lander, Wyoming. We were going to stay there for the night, so we got gas and went to the campground. So we put the spare on. We knew we were going to have to get tires.
we got to Bozeman, and of course, nobody had tires. We had to wait 6 weeks to get tires because of the pandemic. I called around and I called Billings. So we drove from Bozeman to Billings, which messed our whole vacation up.
And then the back one on the left side went bad too.
Yeah.
On the way there. So I drove a lot slower just trying to make it there. The pressure was way up, the temperature was way up, and it was worse than the first one. We had taken out the tire shield, an extra warranty for the tires. They told me all the things that I needed to do, save the tires, and we didn't really mess with the tires till we got back home, but I had them in the back of the truck. Tire shield, they did their thing with the investigation, and they called me back and said that that was not covered. Had I thought about it, I probably should have called the tire manufacturer and told them about it. But by that time, the tires were gone, so we kind of lost out on that deal.
Well, we asked them if
Yeah.
they took care of this, if we were doing the right thing. Oh, yes. Well, they waited till after the tires were thrown out before before they told us they would cover it. We took on that another $1,000.
They have this to say about their extended warranty.
It's called a forever warranty, and what the deal is you bring it in the spring before you start the camping season, and they charge like $200, and they do an inspection, which I'm not sure they do a real thorough inspection, but they inspect the roof, they inspect pressure on the water system and the LP propane system.
And then we bought another additional warranty. I mean, an extended from that warranty.
How has that helped you? Has there been any time that the extended warranty?
No, because we even talked to them about the tires. We told them, you know, we went in with the tires, and I said, well, you know, we even called the place that made the tires, and they said, well, you don't have the tires anymore. We can't do anything. Well, of course we don't have the tires because the other place said that they took care of it. You know, they could take care of it. Needless to say, then they decided it wasn't. I mean, that I blame on the representative that we talked to because they probably didn't know their job, because we went through all this stuff with the other company, and then they said they only covered road hazards. Well, to me, that's a road hazard. It's your tires. I suppose if the tire would have blown and we would have done all the damage to the camper, then maybe they would have covered. I don't know. I'm not sure any place covers anything anymore. They want your money, and after that, nothing's covered.
If you were to do it all over again, would you have bought the camper?
No, I would have probably brought one of those, what is that, Brinkley's. I like those. Those were very well made. At the time, they didn't have those made. And it's not that I don't like this camper. I love it. I love the inside and everything. It's frustrating when you pay all that money, and we paid cash for it. Nobody wants to help you when you do have issues.
With the Darko underneath the slide, you know, it's just wearing, it's fraying that Darko out. Ideally, they should have put the same material on that they put on the bedroom slide, which is that UHMW.
He's tried calling Keystone. One person never answered him, and the other one said that it's not covered under your warranty, which nothing is covered under the warranties as far as I'm concerned.
They said, well, that's not a warranty issue. It's not covered under the warranty. Actually, it has a 3-year structural warranty, which I thought should cover some of those things like that. I don't think it's an adjustment. I think it's just because there's so much weight there on that, and it's such an inferior material, it just wears it out. And I've read on the forum that there's several people that have the same issue. I got on the Montana Owners Forum, and they had a fix for that. If you buy this UHMW, which is an ultra-high molecular polyethylene, so I kind of looked around for that, stuck it on there, just a trial thing. I ran the slide in, which runs up on the roller, and when it rolled up on the roller, it raised the slide about 1/8 of an inch, which makes sense because the 1/8 of an inch is the thickness of the material. My dilemma is I don't know if it's going to be hard on the mechanism for the slide. I'm not sure what the long-term effect will be on that.
Thank you for calling Keystone Dutchman and Crossroads RV customer service.
I called Keystone because I wanted to hear from them how they would respond to Terry and Joe's dissatisfaction. They took my name and number, but I've yet to hear back.
All right, so I got that for you, and then I have your email and phone number, so I will get with management to see the protocol for handling these situations, okay?
I would love to interview someone at Keystone and get their perspective, so I will definitely keep you posted if that happens. Where are you now with your trailer? Are you going to keep it? What's happening now?
Well, we were going to trade it for a Brinkley, but they didn't want to give us anything for this. So
it was around $33,000 they were going to give us, and they wanted $80,000 for the other one, and this was only 2 years old at the time.
Plus, it has solar on it now and everything. We would have lost again. So we figured we'll keep it until the thing falls apart, I guess. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any advice for someone shopping for a new or used camper, put it in the comments. As always, these are exciting times to push past fear, build confidence, and live amazing.